And I'm in a better mood than yesterday. So that's even, well, maybe better mood, maybe something else. I'll get into it. But another Dear Something diary of daily talking affirmations. I don't know. Not really affirmations, but just daily talking, I would say. So I'm just trying to get the camera looking right. Do I look relatively okay? Yeah, I popped 2 zits, which maybe I shouldn't have done. Sure, just let them be. It's an overcast day. No one's gonna care. But yeah, like I said, yesterday I watched the most, no, I didn't watch the most. I read the best, like, original character design for anything, like, ever. And it was Sonic related, which weirdly enough, like, never do, like, you would think, like, there's been some, like, memes of, like, people's OC Sonic characters, but they draw themselves as, like, hedgehogs. I don't know. But this one was someone's, like, take on, like, Dr. Eggman's daughter, and I was like, oh my god, the design is perfect. And, like, when I see good character design, I just appreciate it right away, because good character design, oh, sorry, I just have to scratch my head, is phenomenal. But anyway, what did I do yesterday? Class was canceled, so I ended up just kind of, like, staying home. Should I bring this down a little bit? There we go. Class was canceled, so I didn't go to class yesterday. So I stayed home. I read over my biology notes just to, like, double check things. I edited the YouTube video. I cleaned up the house. I didn't do much yesterday. I think I talked to a couple people, but there we go. That's a little better. But yeah, I didn't really do all that much yesterday. I kind of just stayed home, read over notes, stewed, took a bath. But I think that's kind of why I was feeling a little bit more off yesterday and today, is because I didn't really do anything. I didn't go out. Like, I didn't get out of the house. I just stayed in the house. So there's that. So that might be attributing to a bit of my mood today. But seeing that, like, fun, like, character OC, it really did boost my mood, because I was like, that's cool. Someone put in good work into that. So I think that's why I'm in, like, this weird limbo space of a mood. But, you know, you just gotta work with what you gotta get. My brain is still trying so desperately to make me flee doing university. Like, it's like, just last night I was thinking, what am I doing getting a degree? Like, I even felt too stupid to do it. I was like, you won't be able to pass. And I'm like, I'm enjoying these classes. I've been reading over my notes. I get what I'm reading. I understand it. I understand the concepts. But my brain so wants me to quit. It's so used to me running that it just, I don't think it knows how to, like, just stick it out. So I think it's good that I'm kind of retraining my brain to try and just stay in this and, like, keep trying instead of giving up, you know? But I don't know. It's just so frustrating. You know, you keep telling your brain that you want to do this, you want to continue, you want to, like, get this, like, degree done. And, like, not even so much just, like, I want it done and over with now. Like, I had fun in biology. I want to do, like, just those classes now. I don't want this to just, like, end right now. I mean, sure, if I could be done right now, I would be like, whoa, move back home. But I'm not so much just only thinking about just get through it, it'll be done. Now I'm thinking, like, oh, once I can do, like, these field classes, like, I wonder what that'll kind of be like. Like, I'm more curious now as to what those enjoyable classes I'm excited about. Because if I'm just doing a basic biology this term and I'm having that much fun with it, I'm gonna have fun with the more in-depth classes. I know I will. But I just have to get to it because my brain's just, it's so desperately is trying to escape. And I get it. Like, sometimes it's scary doing something this big and new, and I think my phone is definitely listening to me, because it showed me a couple things that have never ever been on my For You page before. One of them being, what is it called? It's like study core, but it's not like the academic study core that you're kind of thinking of. It's more, are you ready? It, like, the sound is, are you ready for this? Cincinnati, like, it's that sound. And it's just all these pictures of, like, just shitty environments and, like, just scraping by. And, like, I know it's not good, to like be like, oh well, that's not something you should like be afraid of. It's like, but you kind of should. Like if you want to live life being a little bit more like financially free, you got to get more schooling. So it is good study material. It's insulting, I'm sure, to like people who are in that situation. Fuck, I mean, I'm renting. I'm in that situation. I'm just not making it out like that. Well, it's a little bit more different than that, but you know, I want to be able to like be more financially stable. Like I want to have a career that has like a 401k that like I can work and then eventually just retire, because I'm not trying to live in like big city centers. I want to like have a career where I can live close to home in a smaller town, so I'm not struggling. That's just my thing. I just don't really care for big cities. Part of that's because I grew up out in the woods, so that was never in my blood, and it was never anything I like desired for. Like some people, they grow up in the countryside and they're like, I just gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get out. And it's like, okay, do it then. Like leave. Have fun wherever you go, I guess. But yeah, no, I wanna. This is what I want, and so I just like. So that was one thing on my For You page. But the other thing that it was listening. Oh God, what was it? It was like, okay, someone's peeking in. CIA man? No. But what was it? Oh, I went off on a tangent. I should have said it out loud and I would have remembered. Okay, things that are popping up on my phone because it's listening to me. It's like the study stuff. I don't remember, but it was something else that I was like, okay, you're listening. Maybe if I think about what I was talking about, it'll come up. Because I was talking about classes, enjoying university, having fun with this. Ooh, what was it? Oh, I can't remember. That's killer. But yeah, and then I ended up seeing like all this like Sonic OC about like Dr. Eggman's daughter, and she's like menacing, and like it looks like the Sonic art style, which I was never a huge fan of Sonic. Like if you look through all of my things, my collectibles, you won't find anything Sonic related. It's all like Mario, well, Pokemon obviously, and then some Mario, a couple anime things. I think there's like one Black Butler thing in there, one Card Captor thing, Kirby, yes, of course. And Beanie Babies. These are only two of my Beanie Babies. I have a lot of Beanie Babies over there. So, yeah, I have a lot of that sort of stuff. But I've always, like, loved the vibe of Sonic. And, like, people who, like, were obsessed with it are like, that's great. There was one game I had of Sonic the Hedgehog. It was, like, for the Game Boy. And it was just, like, the side-scroller. And I was like, I prefer Mario side-scrollers. But one game I was always jealous of people that had was that one on the GameCube. And you had like the Chao Gardens, and I wanted a Chao so badly, and like I was like, can I make one? And they're like, no, and I'm like, okay, bastard. But yeah, so that was always fun. And I did end up buying it because I found it at Value Village, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this game because I've always wanted to play it. So I think I might stream it one day. We never know. But I think I would enjoy streaming it. Cincinnati. Okay, I'm still trying to remember the TikTok I saw, because there was 2 TikToks. I was like, oh, government's listening to me for sure. Maybe it was something about schooling, or I don't know. It was probably something about schooling. But yeah, there was that one where it's like study. You gotta study. Maybe it was something about my memory. Gosh, I can't even remember. But all right, I was gonna talk about what I did yesterday. Oh yeah, so I ended up watching Scooby-Doo and The Witch of Eastwick. No, that's The Witches of Eastwick is a movie with Cher, not Goldie Hawn. I can't remember their names, but Cher's one of the characters in it. It's Scooby-Doo and the Witch. I don't know. It's one of the VHS ones. Like I have all the VHS Scooby-Doo movies, and I sometimes watch them during October. And because that one's not my favorite. My favorite Scooby-Doo VHS is definitely Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Curse. I think that Scooby-Doo movie is like I know people are gonna be like, Zombie Island's the best, and I'm like, Zombie Island's good. Don't get me wrong, that one's good. But I always loved Cyber Chase the most. The character, the villain, the like ending thing where like you had all of them pairing up together. Like sure, I do think that probably Zombie Island is much better written. Like, it's probably a better movie. I just like Cyber Chase more. I just love the whole vibe of it all. Like, they're going through the video game. It's a lot of just, like, montage of that one, though. Like, you have like the whole, like you have the song and they're going through all the levels and it's a montage. There was a lot of montage-y stuff. But whereas with Zombie Island, why am I getting into a discussion about Scooby-Doo movies? It's all storyline. Like okay, Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island is better than Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, but I still like Cyber Chase more. That's just how it is. It's like how what do I like more? I think I might like Pokemon the Movie 3 more than Pokemon Heroes. Let's just turn around real quick, shall we? Because I have them all right here. If I had to rate them, which is almost impossible because all the Pokemon movies are like incredibly well written. Like they're good movies. Don't get me wrong. They're good. So let's just, do a little rating. So I think Pokemon the first movie, phenomenal. It is absolutely like the opening short of Pokemon Vacation, so good. The art style, the music. I saw the Pokemon the first movie in theaters. I was like, yay big. And I remember being so excited, but I don't remember all of it because my mom told me a part where she was sitting in the theater and she was like, wow, great like art, great music. And then she looked over and I'm just sitting there silently sobbing when Ash died. And she's like, what the hell? Why would they put this in a movie? And then Ash came back to life and she's like, okay, good. Like, she probably didn't. She was like, I can't have my child just like absolutely heartbroken leaving this theater, so we have to watch it through. But anyway, okay, so Pokemon the first movie, I think it's like in a total, like it's S tier. If I'm ranking the Pokemon movies, Pokemon the first movie is S tier. Because people might be like, oh my god, like the art style's so old. Yeah, because it was made like back in 1990, or no, 2001 I think it came out. Pokemon the first movie, oh no, I think it was 1990. No, because then there's Pokemon 2000. Oh, I think that was like, it came out like later though. Because if I can remember, I was born 1998, so I would have been 2 the year 2000 hit. And if I can remember going to the theater and seeing it, I can remember. remember, Pokemon the movie. Okay, so yeah, I think that one's S tier. Pokemon the movie 2, very good as well. I love the whole storyline. Was that the first one where Team Rocket's kind of like the good guys? Because like they help Ash out, and I think that one's really good too. It has a very well written story. It doesn't have as dark as a theme as Pokemon the first movie, but we can't compare it to that. We got to compare it on its own merit, which I think it is good. It has good art style. That's when they kind of started trying to do CGI with the whole like water thing over top, but it was very minimal. So I don't think that played a huge part in it all. So I would say, God, I want to put it on S tier because it has good storytelling. But I think it has to go A tier. I think it's A tier. Pokemon, the movie 2000, Lugia, the song, like Lugia's song, great. The character designs, great. But I think it's just missing that little bit of like oomph that the other ones have, which is still good. Like it still has like the climax, like the weather, and like Lugia falling to the bottom of the sea. But like, it didn't have as much of a like a holy sh. So it's A tier. It's A tier. It's still really good. Then we got Pokemon the movie 3. I think I'm putting this in S tier. For the sole fact that it has such a unique writing form for making the villains. I'm sorry, I'm diving into Pokemon. I'll be here a while. Like, Pokemon the movie 3 has such, like, dynamic villains. Like, because the antagonist, not the villain, the antagonist is Molly. This, like, 5-year-old girl who made a wish to, like, the omnipotent hands of God, basically. Like, that's, like, the theory, the fan-base theory of what the Unknown are, is Arceus's, like, hands. Like, by themselves, they're weak and pathetic. Like, we all know Unknown are. But, like, put them together, and, like, they can shape reality. So, she makes a wish, and she doesn't know what's happening. She's 5 years old. All she said was, I want my daddy. And, like, the Unknown's, like, otherworldly being understanding of what her dad is was like, okay, well, you think of your dad like Entei, I can make an Entei. And so, like, they just throw an Entei at her that, like, treats her like a daughter. And they're like, that's a dad. Like, it's... People will be like, well, that wasn't her dad. It's like, yeah, because these are other creature godly beings. They don't get, like, I don't know. People were just reading questions. They're like, why didn't you give her exact thing? Has any wishing ever really gone exactly as it was supposed to? In any incarnation of any show? Like, wishes always don't, like, add up. Except, actually, there's been some that have. But anyway... I'm putting that in S tier because Molly's such, like, a good antagonist, and, like, the character building of her, like, you start to just, like, appreciate her and, like, love her. Like, I remember seeing her when she turned into, like, Misty's age, and then Brock's age. Or no, she turned into Brock's age, or older than Brock. And once again, goat on Brock, because The form she transformed into, gorgeous. If she was an actual like woman that age, he would be fawning over her. But he understood that that's a child taking on the form of an adult. And even Brock understood that's still like a child. Something a lot of fans of a lot of shows could learn today. Just because a character says they're ancient, but they're actually the shape of a child, that's not a pass. Even Brock understood that. And that was like a fully looking adult woman, but he knew that was a child. So fans understand. So yeah, that one's just so good. Because like the character building of like, and then she turns down to Misty's age and she's like, oh, like I can be a trainer in young too. And it's like, so cool. It's like the music in Misty's battle is so good. When the whole place fills up with water. So cool. So cool. I was talking about school, but I'm enjoying talking about Pokemon because it always like, I get like the feeling of happiness when I talk about Pokemon. Anyways, such a good antagonist. Such good like, you start to actually like appreciate the antagonist. You like get it. It's like, wow, like she's just having fun. She's trying to enjoy. She doesn't understand that the world is ending. Okay, by her hand. And like the way they get out, and like I love the little like chant of the unknown where it's like doo doo. I love that. Very eerie, very fun. And like the animation, beautiful as in all these early Pokemon movies. And then next we got Pokemon Mewtwo Returns. I'm gonna put that in B tier. It's still a good one. Like the storyline's fun. They got like comedy bits. Like I just always remember the bit with like them all like canoeing through like all the Kakuna and Misty just freaks out and like backs the reverses the hell out of there. And then like this like Team Rocket spy where she's all like bubbly and it's like actually she's a villain and like it's a good one. But I'm putting it in B tier because it's not quite A tier like Pokemon 2000 where it's like you feel the tension real like well. It's more like it was like an addition. Then Pokemon Forever, A tier. Now, it's one of my favorites, so you think I'd put it in S tier, but like, oh, actually it might be S tier. Because like the Latios, and like Latios dying is heartbreaking. But it has that same tension that I was talking about in like Pokemon the first movie, and Pokemon like the movie 3. Yeah, Mystery of the Unknown. It has that same tension where like, the fossils that are brought out of the ground, frankly, were terrifying. Like the way they ran, so scary, those monsters. And like they started doing more with like 3D animation, which was still good. But like the thing is, if I put that in S tier, I feel like I'm gonna have to put. Wait, I'm working with Pokemon. Oh, that is the Celebi movie. Okay, I'm thinking of Pokemon Heroes. Okay, never mind. We'll still talk about Pokemon Heroes though, the one with the Latios. So Pokemon Heroes, I do like the opening sequence of like the race because like you really like that's when I was like I love Totodile. Seeing Totodile in that, love instant. So I think that's kind of where like they had good character like involvement and play in the beginning there, and in a couple other areas like where like Latios is like pushing Ash on the swing and like they find, but like Misty and Brock were so like it just felt like they hardly had like they just felt like they were clunking around in that movie. So I don't know, it just felt very like it was just Ash centered, which is like the other movies they had like I guess Ash was centered in all of them, but Misty and Brock just especially felt like they played like a back role here. Whereas in like I'm saying Pokemon movie 3, like you had a whole like score just for Misty and one just for Brock, and Misty's killed. Like, you get to see Misty's, like, Politoed and stuff, and, like, Brock's Crobat as they throw him out to go, like, help Ash, and, like, Latios kisses Ash. Like, it's just, like, this whole thing. It's, like, a beautiful movie, and I love it. Like, the whole, like, the score of this movie, I think is definitely, like, S tier. Like, the music in this one, so good. Especially when Ash is running through, like, the canals and stuff, and, like, trying to find her. I love that song. I still listen to it this day. But I think it's going A tier. Because it has like a lot of stuff, but the writing just felt like it could have been a little bit better. It might even be close, like just tipping the line to B tier. Because what else did I say was A tier? I said Pokemon 2000 was A tier, and Pokemon 2000 had a lot more like, yeah, it might be B tier. And same with Pokemon Forever, the Celebi one. Like when Celebi dies, heart wrenching. It's horrible. And then the song, like it just sounds like your mom singing. Like it's very much like, my feels. But once again, like an Ash, Brock and Tyranitar was so cool. I love Tyranitar in that movie. But I think that one along with I can't believe I'm putting Pokemon Heroes and Pokemon Forever in B tier. But they're not comparable enough to like Pokemon. Like 2000 just has such better writing. Pokemon the movie has like peak writing. You feel like you're watching like something like very like in depth. But then so onto Pokemon Wishmaker with Jirachi. I'd say it's A tier. Max is of course like the focus because it's him and Jirachi, and like May's in there and Brock too. I can't believe we're already gone from Misty, Brock, and Tracy. No, Brock's already in here, but yeah. I could talk about them for hours. But so, yeah, Jirachi Wishmaker, I definitely think like that's an A tier as well, because the character building, the antagonist's love interest, first of all, babe alert. Like, I don't know what's up with Pokemon and just drawing the most like stunning women, but they do it. Like, she has like the full like unit of hair. Like it's like perfectly, like it's just beautiful. She's gorgeous. Like the fact, like oh my god, she's stunning. But so like, and the antagonists and the villains, and like Jirachi Wishmaker is just really good. It's really good, and like all the characters kind of like you feel like they have their moments. So I'm putting that in A tier with Pokemon 2000. So I'm like, it's just good, you know? And now onto the other VHS I have, which is, I think up there, yeah, Destiny Deoxys. That one's it's a little bit more confusing. Have I been talking about this for like 10 minutes? I think I have. This is supposed to be like a university. It's actually just about how I feel. And I have Pokemon stuff in the background, so like, of course I'm going to talk about Pokemon. Destiny Deoxys, I'll just talk about 2 more and then I'm done. So, Destiny Deoxys, I would say... I'm trying to think of like moments Misty Brock had. Like the whole like setup and scenario of like the Electronic City is super cool, but I'm putting it in B tier because it's very much like Ash focused and like his friend. And then there was a lot of side characters that were also in there, so everyone just kind of felt a little bit more diluted, except Ash and like the little like blue-haired boy, who was friends with Deoxys. And very CG heavy this one. But yeah, no, I think it's B tier. I don't think it's A tier material. The only 2 S tiers we have right now is Pokemon the first movie and Pokemon the movie 3. Yeah. Okay, and then I also want to talk about Darkrai. I think Pokemon the movie Darkrai might be A tier. Is it S tier? Score's good. Character development of like a bunch of characters is good too. What did Dawn really do in that one? They had like the 3 where like they had the starters, and like those like random trainers were pretty cool. I think it might be A tier. I think it was like, it just felt a little bit more rushed than the other movies. Like the other movies you feel like you're kind of like sitting and you're watching something good. This one you're watching something good, but it's moving fast. So I think it didn't have as good pacing maybe. But I could just be being picky. I don't know. I love Darkrai. So I'm putting it in A tier. And I think I'm going to put... because I don't want to go further than, like, like, I don't really want to go into, like, Zekrom and all the new ones, because they're just, like, they're okay. They're good, but they lacked, like, what the early movies had. The early movies had really good writers. Okay, I'm done talking about Pokemon, because, oh, wait, no, I was going to say Lucario. Right. Lucario. That one is also an A tier. The characters are good. So heartbreaking when everyone's like absorbed by the tree's white blood cells, basically. But that one's A tier as well. Because like the whole journey, like I love it when it has those moments of like play or relaxation that makes the movie feel more spaced out, because you have this break where everything feels calm because they're being hunted by the Reggies. Regice scared the shit out of me with its cry when it first appears, and it's like, ugh. That thing is killer. But like being hunted by Regirock, Registeel, and Regice. But like when they're like chilling in like the hot springs and they're just hanging out, and like they introduce Bonsly, of course. It just felt like, or like when they're just driving, it's just so like more relaxing. I don't know. It's just good. So A tier for that one as well. But yeah, that's enough about Pokemon movies. I have a minute left, and I was like, yeah, I've got classes today. I have Is it at 2 o'clock? Yeah, 2 o'clock I have to head to the university and go to class. So I already put on like sunscreen and kind of brushed out my hair a little bit, so I'm good to go. Like that's still like 5 hours away from me now. But yeah, and then Saturday I have my bio class. Yeah, I think I covered a fair bit. Yeah, so at the start I was a little nervous, but I talked about how much I hate my brain and trying to convince me to be afraid of this and run away. And then I started talking about Pokemon, which always makes me happy. So I think I'm a little blindingly bright in this like video, but that's okay. Sometimes that just happens. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Sorry you had to listen to me rant about Pokemon. It will probably happen again. It tends to come up a lot in my life because I kind of love it. If you couldn't tell, this whole cabinet, besides a couple things, is Pokemon related. So we got like things that aren't, are just like some stones, teddy bears, my amiibos, so like Splatoon amiibos, whatnot, Animal Crossing, Bayonetta. My Hayao Miyazaki movies, which are then immediately cut into all of my like Sinnoh journeys back when I started buying them when I was a child when it came out. More Pokemon stuff, because I have like, yeah, Pokemon Black and White movie, Mystery of Mew, The Rise of Darkrai, Giratina movie was good, Arceus movie was good. Those ones I'd put B tier. They weren't that great. They're good, but I still watch them and enjoy them, but it's just like, it just felt like you were trying to push out movies real quick, instead of like you took your time. Then I have like, I think a Card Captors movie up there, and then all that's Pokemon except for 2 Card Captors and 1 Hamtaro VHS. And then all the amiibos. But yes, it's something that I tend to talk about frequently. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.